This is QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue, and I am Ansmane Sonyasi. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. Gambia's former Interior Minister Usman Sonko took the stand in his own defense on Wednesday in his trial on crimes against humanity in Switzerland. The Republic of Turkey, through its embassy in the Gambia, has presented military equipment to the Gambia Armed Forces to enhance its communication capabilities. The Ministry of Gender, in collaboration with OHCHR West Africa Regional Office, introduces Phase 2 of the project for the protection of child victims of rights violations. The Female Lawyers Association of the Gambia, FLAG, organized a capacity-building event for 25 female lawyers on sexual and gender-based violence legislations and litigation. And in international news, despite Senegal's gold production revenue reaching 387.7 billion CFA in 2020, poverty, poor infrastructure and unemployment are still rampant in the country, according to reports. Well, stay tuned for more on these and other stories. And we now take a look at the news in detail. Now, former Gambian Interior Minister Usman Sonko has said that he had done everything in his power to improve the conditions of the prisons during his term at the Interior Ministry. He made the remarks under cross-examination in his trial on crimes against humanity in Switzerland. Jennifer Sonko has more.
The Truth, Reconciliation and Reparations Commission established that at least 41 people died at Mile 2 prison from 1994 to 2017. When Usman Sonko was cross-examined under detention conditions in Mile 2, he said that they were not the best, but stressed that he did everything in his power to improve them during his term. On April 14, 2016, a group of demonstrators waved banners in Sarakunda with slogans such as "We need electoral reforms" and "freedom of speech." Security forces broke up the protests and arrested many of the participants. When cross-examined on the issue, Usman Sonko agreed that the protesters were arrested in April 2016, but the demonstration had taken place illegally. The streets, he said, had nothing to do with a breach of their political rights or their freedom of association, but were a security matter. On the defunct NIA, now SIS, the former Interior Minister said the institution was never under his control, and as such, he could not have taken any action following the death of Solo Sandeng in April 2016. Similarly, he couldn't do much about the individuals arrested on that day. Usman Sonko is standing trial under the universal jurisdiction principle that allows states or international organizations to claim criminal jurisdiction over an accused person regardless of where the alleged crime was committed and regardless of the accused's nationality, country of residence, or any other relation to the prosecuting identity. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jennifer Sonko.
Now, the Republic of Turkey, through its embassy in the Gambia, has presented military equipment to the Gambia Armed Forces to enhance its communications capabilities. The two countries have forged stronger mutual cooperation, which officials say has brought some significant results over the years. Mahmoud Lamin Choi reports.
Cooperation between Banjul and Ankara is gathering pace with positive results. This event witnesses the latest batch of support from Turkey to the Gambia Armed Forces. Officials of the Gambia Armed Forces and the Ministry of Defense are at this ceremony for a handing over of military communication equipment from the Republic of Turkey. The Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, Major General Mamad Ocham and Togla Bermek, the Ambassador of Turkey to the Gambia, respectively, speak at this event.
The repeater radios will enhance coverage in challenging terrains, ensuring seamless communication even in remote areas. The fixed radio centers will establish reliable communication at our various signal centers within the armed forces, facilitating continuous flow of communication, and the vehicular-mounted radios will prove invaluable during mobilization, allowing for real-time communication on the move, especially in rural areas where our radio coverage is not available. Additionally, the handheld radios will empower our personnel with flexibility and agility, essential in both field deployments within the Gambia Armed Forces and future peacekeeping operations.
With this state-of-the-art radio assets, we aim to strengthen the communication capabilities of the Gambia Armed Forces and security forces, which will be essential in maintaining security forces in their efforts to keep stability and security in the region.
Enhancing Gambia's defense capability appears to be one of the priority areas of strategic interventions in Gambia-Turkey cooperation. Such support to the Gambia's military spans decades with many milestone achievements. Sereny Modou Njie is the Minister of Defense.
It is in our records that between the end of 2021 and the first quarter of 2022, 500 Gambia Armed Forces military personnel were provided with advanced military training in general peacekeeping and military operations by the Republic of Turkey, including the transportation, airlifting, the unit with special military aircraft, Shali 130, payment of subsistence allowances during their stay in Sparta, and all other training expenses were borne by the government of the Republic of Turkey.
Through a protocol agreement between the Gambia and Turkey, more than 7,500 Gambia Armed Forces personnel received training in the Gambia between 1991 and 2005. Aside from capacity building, Turkey has supported the Gambia Armed Forces with military hardware crucial in preparing them for peacekeeping and defense operations. Gambia-Turkey cooperation encompasses other key sectors such as education, health, and security. Both countries are optimistic about stronger mutual future cooperation. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
Now, the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, in collaboration with OHCHR West Africa Regional Office, introduces Phase 2 of the Project for the Protection of Child Victims of Rights Violations, PAPEV 2023-2025. Lena Igwe tells us more.
The West Africa Regional Office of the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, OHCHR WARO, headquartered in Dakar, Senegal, plays a pivotal role in safeguarding human rights across West Africa. The ongoing support project for the protection of child victims of rights violations, PAPEV, initiated in the Gambia in 2019, is now gearing up for Phase 2 to strengthen child protection systems. Robert Kachani, OHCHR WARO Regional Representative, underscores the imperative for the Gambia to fortify its social protection systems.
Investing in children and their protection is one sure way for government to safeguard the most important resource. Creating laws alone is not enough. We must do all what we can, ladies and gentlemen, to ensure that the laws protecting and promoting the right of children are popularized, understood, and enforced.
Emmanuel Daniel Diouf, chairperson of the National Human Rights Commission, acknowledges the presence of adequate laws protecting children's rights in the Gambia, but points out persistent gaps.
Children in the Gambia, like most other places also, face challenges and rights violation. Children, especially the girl child, are still at risk of FGM, child marriage, violence, and exploitation, and other types of abuses. In addition, children with disabilities continue to be left behind due to the non-operationalization or implementation of the Persons with Disability Act 2021.
Fatou Kinte, Minister of Gender, Children and Social Welfare, and Dr. Desta Truine, the UN Resident Coordinator, stressed that protecting and promoting children's rights demands a collective effort.
The protection of children requires the effort and commitment of all of us. We cannot leave it to the state alone. Neither can we leave it to the schools or parents alone. Ensuring that children's rights are promoted and protected requires the collective effort of everyone: policymakers, lawyers, teachers, parents, child protection committees, and everyone. Child protection is therefore everybody's business. We must therefore put our hands together to protect our children.
Partnership is necessary to ensure a solid and coordinated child protection system that prevents and responds timely to acts of violence against children.
To translate the goals of PAPEF into tangible outcomes, it is crucial to establish a comprehensive legal framework, prioritizing child-friendly judicial procedures, offering trauma-informed counseling, promoting education, and fostering collaboration among government bodies, NGOs, and communities is paramount to ensuring the protection and support of children facing human rights violations in the Gambia. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena Ebere Igwenyiba.
And a report there by Lena Igwenyiba will lead us to the commercial break, but we will be right back.
Now, with QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future, tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyapus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for the perfect place to promote your product or place your advert? Look no further than QTV. We are the premier destination for businesses looking to connect with Gambian audiences and beyond. At QTV, we offer a variety of advertising solutions to suit your needs and budget. With our diverse range of programming, you can be sure that your ad will reach a broad and engaged audience. From our popular news broadcast to our exciting music and entertainment programming, QTV has something for everyone. QTV, the premier destination for advertising in the Gambia. Contact us today and let us help you reach your audience.
Welcome back. Following the commercial break, we remind that you're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Kairaba Avenue, and I am Ansumana Isonyasi. Now, the Female Lawyers Association of the Gambia, FLAG, organized a two-day capacity building forum for 25 female lawyers on sexual and gender-based violence on legislations and litigation. Julian Jai attended on Friday, and she has the report.
The event aims to raise awareness among female lawyers regarding sexual offenses, harmful traditional practices relating to children, and effective prosecution of sexual and gender-based violence (SGBV) cases. The Gambia recorded a staggering 117 rape cases between January and July of last year, according to a situation report by Gender Management Information System. The report also revealed that the Gambia registered 310 survivors of gender-based violence across the 8 operational one-stop centers in Kanifing, Banjul, Bakote, Bundung, Brikama, Basse, Bansang, and Buea. Anne Njai, president of the Female Lawyers Association of the Gambia, says part of their commitment is to find practical solutions for victims of gender-based violence and their families, and ensure that justice is served. However, there is a growing need for legal representation given the increase in sexual and domestic violence cases.
I commend the dedication of all participants, especially the young female lawyers. I am confident that the knowledge gained over the next 2 days will contribute to our shared objective for creating a Gambia where the rights of women and children are not just protected on paper, but upheld in practice. Thank you, UNICEF, for your commitment to this important cause.
Arma Nyaure, Assistant Representative of UNICEF, says the initiative is part of the UNICEF's supported program on advancing access to justice for child victims of sexual abuse and exploitation through the provision of legal aid services implemented by FLAG.
Over the past years, as I mentioned, the Gambia has taken progressive steps to strengthen the legal frameworks on sexual and gender-based violence and align national laws with the key international instruments. However, the translation of laws into concrete outcomes for child and women victims of sexual abuse and exploitation remains slow and requires substantial investment and commitment by key actors to ensure that the legal system is responsive, is effective, and timely in addressing child rights violations.
Mr. Nyaure assures UNICEF Gambia's readiness to continue supporting and collaborating with key actors to ensure access to justice for children. Ida Person is Special Advisor on Transitional Justice.
This work is not easy, and the provision of mental health and psychosocial support to your clients, very important, but equally important for you as frontliners. So please take care of yourself, because we are aware that the road is long and difficult, but we shall persevere.
FLAG, in collaboration with UNICEF The Gambia, will also launch the legal support and reintegration of child victims of sexual and gender-based violence project. This initiative aims to address the pressing issues of child sexual and gender-based violence, providing comprehensive legal support to affected children and women. For QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
60 women oyster harvesters on Monday commenced a 6-week swimming program organized by Fish for ACP project to improve women's swimming skills and water confidence. Loliam Kamara witnessed the session and filed this report.
According to research, fisheries and aquaculture are expanding in most of Africa, the Caribbean and the Pacific, ACP. However, growth has been slow and benefits do not always reach the communities who rely on them. Fish for ACP's 5-year project aims to tackle some of the underlying challenges in building sustainable fisheries and aquaculture for women. The challenges include low economic performance, limited market access, and poor social and environmental sustainability. Khadija Jallo is Fish for ACP project coordinator in the Gambia.
Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations is the UN agency implementing this project in the Gambia, with funding partner as the European Union, the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development. Help them, support them in partnership with the Navy Command under the government of the Gambia to help them to increase safety in their work environment and also boost their confidence, but also to enhance resilience in their sector.
The training program also focuses on enhancing the productivity and competitiveness of value chains, while ensuring that economic improvements go hand in hand with environmental sustainability and social inclusiveness. Oyster harvesters in the Gambia gather the oysters from the mangrove roots using rudimentary tools. Often, these women cannot swim. Sabel Jata, oyster harvester on behalf of the beneficiaries, explained what this training means to them. This is the first time we are benefiting from such important training. We have been facing challenges during our work, so learning such skills will help us. Being in the river and being unable to swim to save your life or that of a colleague is dangerous. One of the associations working to improve the lives of oyster farmers is Tri Oyster Women's Association, founded in 2007. Fatou Jangha is the association's director.
So we are in 9 communities in the Tanbi area. We are an association in different communities, and we're working with 600 women, and they are all oyster harvesters and mangroves protectors. Swimming is the best thing that could happen to them. The women, they know how to plunge in and out the water, but they don't know how to swim. It's in case there is any problem, like we have lost quite a few women in the water.
Ibrahim M.S. Jaju, a Navy personnel and lead trainer, commented on the initiative.
I'm very impressed. I've been training for so long, but this is the first time we are training ladies of this nature and then looking at their age. But the commitment they are showing and then the will to swim is really remarkable. I was not expecting this, to be frank. Yeah.
Mr. Jaju called on the public to support these women, emphasizing the important role they play in society. Fish for ACP contributes to the UN's 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, especially the fulfillment of Sustainable Development Goal 14 on the conservation of the world's oceans, seas and marine resources. For QTV News, Lolly M. Kamara.
And now on to international news in a moment. Now, the latest report published by Senegal's statistics agency states that gold production reached 387.7 billion CFA in 2020. However, despite the revenue generated, poverty, poor infrastructure, and unemployment are still rampant. Julen Jai reports.
Kédougou is one of the poorest regions of southeastern Senegal. This is also the region where gold mining takes place. It is home to over 20 nationalities, mainly foreigners from other countries in West Africa, coming to Kédougou to try their luck in striking gold. It's mostly Malians and Guineans who buy the gold. Aliou Cissé told DW in Faranding, a village on the source of Falema River. He used to search for gold in the fields surrounding his village. Locals, searching for higher incomes, moved from agriculture to small-scale mining on their lands. Word of the gold later drew foreigners in large numbers, and foreign companies set up industrial and semi-mechanized mines. The gold rush has come at the expense of the locals, some of whom have seen parts of their land grabbed and their environment polluted. Mining companies dump thousands of liters of wastewater, sometimes containing chemicals, into the Falema River. As a result, people living along the river can no longer drink the water or use it for their livestock or vegetable crops. But despite all the damage caused, residents say they get little compensation, and industrial mining companies don't offer enough jobs for locals. In a region where unemployment is rampant, gold mining has become an indispensable source of income. Amadou Siga Keita, Vice President of Kédougou's Departmental Council, says around 300,000 people currently work in the mines, mostly on clandestine sites. You find people with master's degrees there, Keita told DW. In early September, 2 people were killed and 8 injured in clashes at the protest after a dispute over recruitment at mines in Kosanto. The incident occurred near the Sabadola Gold Project, owned by the Canadian company Taranga Gold Corporation, which ranks as the largest industrial mine site in Kédougou. Keita says the feeling of abandonment that people in the region have could make them prone to radicalization. The economic and social deficit could be a factor for jihadist groups to implement themselves, he warns. Currently, there are no banks. The money goes from hand to hand. Keita says this could lead to infiltration by religious extremists who could use the gold to fund their activities. Senegal and Mali share a border over 250 kilometers, 155 miles. The frontier is porous and difficult to depolice. In Mali, jihadi groups are currently the army, which is backed by Russia's Wagner Group. Senegal has so far been spared terrorist attacks and is seen as one of the few stable countries in West Africa. But its gold rush and other trafficking networks, prostitution, arms and chemical products make Kédougou vulnerable. For QTV News, I am Julden Jai.
And I'm afraid that's all about it for this bulletin, rather. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap for main headlines. Gambia's former Interior Minister Ousmane Sonko took to the stand in his own defense on Wednesday in his trial on crimes against humanity in Switzerland. The Republic of Turkey, through its embassy in the Gambia, has presented military equipment to the Gambia Armed Forces to enhance its communications capabilities. The Ministry of Gender, in collaboration with OHCHR West Africa Regional Office, has introduced Phase 2 of the project for the protection of child victims of rights violations. And the Female Lawyers Association of the Gambia, FLAG, organized a capacity-building event for 25 female lawyers on sexual and gender-based violence legislations and litigation. And in international news, despite Senegal's gold production revenue reaching 387.7 billion CFA in 2020, poverty, poor infrastructure and unemployment are still rampant in the country, according to the latest report published by Senegal Statistics Agency. And that's all for this bulletin. Do join us tomorrow for more news. Thanks for watching.